Ladies, let me ask you something. Are your hormones going crazy? Boy, when the hormones are out of balance, it can really make us feel like we are going nuts, doesn't it? How would you like to find a way where you can very non-invasively, not taking anything, not having to do basically anything, come in and balance those hormones so you can get your life back on track and feeling good again? Hi, I'm Renee McLaughlin. I am a certified health coach and I am a life system biofeedback practitioner. And I am really so excited to share the life system with you because you are going to be blown away by how this system, simply using frequency, can really help you look and feel so much better. What exactly is the life system? Well, the easiest way I can explain it is an energy healing software program. It utilizes frequency and then resonant frequency to really help you relieve the stress that is in your energy field. And when you can relieve the imbalanced stress in your energy field, you allow the body to heal itself. So it's really a stress management biofeedback system. Did you realize that everything in the universe has its own unique frequency? Everything. All the different bacteria have their own frequency. Parasites, viruses, every organ in our body has its own frequency. Every gemstone has its own frequency. Flower essences, frequency. Hormones, frequency. You get the picture. Yes, everything has its own frequency. So the life system has programmed in over 7,000 different frequencies. And what we do with it is we put in the address for your own body and your own body's energy field that has all your own body's frequencies. How do we do that? Well, we use things like your name, your date of birth, where you were born, the time of birth, your picture. All these things are essentially your body's energy field's address. It works very similar to your cell phone. So with your cell phone, we have our own phone number, right? Somebody wants to call you to hook up. You use that phone number, the frequency goes out, hits the satellite and comes back and your phone rings. So I like to say that the system works very similarly in that we put in your own phone number. The system goes out, calls on that and sends out all these 7,000 frequencies to see what frequencies your own body is stressing. And then it sends it back into the system and we get a graph so we can see what frequencies are really stressing you. So if you're having hormone issues, we can look specifically at what hormones are stressing your body now. And here's the really amazing part. We can then send back through the system frequencies that will help balance those frequencies. And then once they're balanced, the body can help you balance the system on its own. This does not replace any kind of medical treatments that you're doing. So please understand that. We're not working on the physicality, we're working on the body's energy system to lower the stress levels. All right, are you ready? I'd love to share with you, and I'm going to share my screen so you can see just some of the places that we can go in the life system to help you balance your hormones. So I already have this one up. I'm going to go right into the wellness place and let's start right here. You can see these are all the different screens that we can use. There's so many different ways we can use the life system to help you look and feel your best. Let's go right into where it says hormones. So I'm going to click on this. I already did a test on this particular person using their energy field and their address. And when I pulled it up for the females, this person's number one, red, is going to be the most stress, or the most acute, we'll call it. Then yellow is the next, and blue goes on down, and then it's on down from there. So on this person right now, insulin is what is stressing their system the most. The cool thing about this too is over here, it will tell us exactly what that hormone does. So I happen to know about the insulin. But what it says here is it indicates there's a possible imbalance, excess or deficiency of this substance. So it's not saying, oh, it's all this or it's all that. It just knows that there is a stress factor based on insulin that is stressing this particular person. And it is an adrenocorticopic hormone from the anterior pituitary, and it affects the adrenal cortex, stimulates the secretion of adrenal cortex hormones. And we know that adrenals really are very involved in even our female hormones. The next one is epinephrine, and I'm just going to click on that because it's going to say what this one is. It's another adrenal and adrenal medulla, and it affects the muscle and liver, stimulates glucose release, and short-term cope with stress. So it looks like this person's having some metabolic issues based on sugar regulation. And the last one, oh, what a shock, is cortisol. And we know that cortisol is the stress hormone. So those three together are causing a stress on this person's hormones. Now watch this. I can just click where it says Metaspace, and it's going to click. I'm giving it just 1 minute of balancing frequencies. So the system is going out into this person's energy field, and it's balancing, giving balancing frequencies to, well, right now it's clicking on the cortisol, but it can click on all three at one point, and you can see that it's going across. Now, ideally, if that was to be completely balanced, it would be up over, say, 85. Now, it can take a little bit of time to get there. I'm not going to do that here, but just to give you an idea. But even just giving it 1 minute of balancing frequency can really make a difference on lightening the stress load from a hormone standpoint. So we're going to give that a few seconds to continue. Then you can also, if you happen to know what hormones are out of balance, you can always just come right over here. We can just click estrogen. So you might happen to know that you're estrogen dominant right now. We can click that. So in this one, the cortisol on this person with 1 minute was balanced at about 52%. So that was good. So we got some. I might take it another minute. I don't like to overdo. We're not trying to push the system. We're just trying to support it and give it some balance. Again, the whole idea is to relieve the stress so the body can heal itself. You can see how that can be such an ultimate, really beautiful wellness situation. So again, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. You might happen to know that there's just a specific one of the glands that you're having situations with, the pineal. We can click on that. The other thing that's so wonderful is I can give a 3-minute automatic ovarian, it's called a stimulation, but it's really more support. So if you're having some issues in that area, can just give it a good 3 minutes of support, and it's beautiful. You can really tell the difference. So I'm just going to stop that feedback there. Just wanted to show you that. All right, so that's the number one place that we might want to look to start. Here's another place that's really interesting that we can go to, and this is called Sarcodes. This does not have a test, but it's a beautiful place to go. And we can go right here to, say, sex organs. I can click on that and give it a minute of that and see how much that clears. If I can see that it doesn't clear much, I might give it another 2, maybe tops 3 minutes and really get those working. We can just click adrenals here. Hypothalamus, which is really sort of the first place with the hormone cascade. We want to start and really balance the hypothalamus. We can go right here to mammary and the mammary glands if you're having some issue there. We can do metabolic. A lot of times the metabolism, metabolic, if you're having blood sugar issues, as you saw this person did a moment ago, that can be very useful. The parathyroid, the pineal, spleen can help if you're having any kind of immune issues. So that's that particular place. Love it. Let's go to this one. This is called the time specific. And I've already entered in 2 of these. We can just do a search again. This one does not have a specific one where you go out to test it. But if you know, you can come in here and just put in some symptoms and see what comes up. So on this, Here's one that I use a lot for my ladies that are having issues, and that is cramps. It says cramps menstrual. I'm going to click on that. And oh, yes, let's just give that a nice minute or two and really help relieve the cramps. Now, one of the things to know about this, once again, this is the energy system. So will you notice something right away? It's a really interesting, great question. And here's my answer to that. I have people that can feel it right away. If you happen to be somebody who's very energy sensitive, and if you are, you know, you might be a Reiki healer or somebody who works with energy, somebody who's very intuitive. In that case, you might right away feel the energy working. For some people, it may take 2 to 3 days to feel it because it's going out from the quantum all the way down into the energy. And sometimes it takes 2 to 3 sessions before you really feel the benefits of the system. So it's very individual. I have had people really notice it right away, especially on things like pain. So there's one for menstrual cramps. It's almost done on that one, if you would have had that one. Also notice on here, so this one was relieved at 26%. So if somebody had called me and said, Renee, oh my goodness, I'm having a lot of menstrual cramps, nausea, my period is just horrible this month, this would be a place I would come in and I would do it a little bit more to try to get it much higher up than 26. So you can click here on menstrual problems. So there's a lot of menstrual things that I can do in here, cramping, abdominal cramping. We can kind of look at all the different types of symptoms. And again, here's a parasympathetic, it's called stimulation, but really is support. That really helps with stress because when our parasympathetic is not, we're stressed out, we can really use that. The other thing that's nice in here, you can see, we can also add some emphasis to that. So inflammation, when we have cramps, sometimes it's a lot of inflammation. If you know you have an infection of some sort with cramping, can click that. There's a degeneration emphasis and pain. So wanted to show you that. It's a really nice place to go. All right, where else? Here's another one of my favorites to use for my ladies that are having issues. So we can go right down here to balance the endocrine system. And I'm going to go ahead as I'm talking and do a quick balancing frequency for that. I love that one because it's just an all-round, total, general, let's balance the endocrine system. So while we're on this particular situation, I wanted to show you, if you can see right here, it says a fractal image. And what the system has done is it has found if you have a frequency of a perfectly balanced endocrine system, what would the fractal or the pattern look like visually? And this is what that looks like. You might notice too that it looks a little bit like a head. There are your ears. And in the center, you'll have what looks to be like the hypothalamus and the pineal gland, the amygdala. So those organs in the center, that's actually what it looks like, which is just blow away amazing. So one of the things you can do while we're doing this is you can just look at it because that picture, the colors and the picture have a frequency and it's a balancing, healing frequency. So sometimes I'll have my clients either all do it or they can take a screenshot, take that out, print it, and you can either wear it on your body, whether you put it in a pocket or you can keep it up where you can look at it. And just looking at it can really help you balance. Is that not amazing? I love this. All right, so that was balancing the endocrine system. And you can see if you're looking on here, there are just so many beautiful balancing. Balancing brain function is one that I use a lot. Here's one that I have found to be really amazing. So I am postmenopausal, but I will tell you that I still get some hot flashes here and there. When I do, I go in, balance the endocrine system, but then I will balance excess heat. And that does two things. It really stops the hot flashes. Yes, ladies, you can balance it and balance out those hot flashes. And the other thing that's really amazing is when it's hot out, like now in the summer, I'm very heat sensitive. My body does not do well, especially if it's humid heat. So before I go out, say for a walk in the summer, or I have to be outside in the heat, I'll run this one. I'm just going to do a quick one here. I'll run this one and see if I can get it up cleared. And when I go out, I'm so much better able to handle the heat. So I love that one. If you know Chinese medicine at all, you know that there is a whole system around excess, the damp, the wetness, the dryness, the heat. So there's also places, if you happen to know how that works, you might know that you're out of balance there. It's beautiful to do that as well. I'm going to stop that. So another great place to go to balance off the hormones. So I'm going to stop this one. As you can see, there's so many beautiful frequencies that we can use to really help you look and feel your very best. So I hope that if you're having issues, contact me. I'd love to give you a session and allow you to experience the natural hormone balancing that you can really get benefit from using the light system.